Master your inner world. Conquer doubt. Command your destiny. There is a war being waged, not on distant battlefields, not with weapons of steel, but within the silent, hidden confines of every human soul. It is a conflict it is the eternal struggle between the limitless potential and the insidious whisper an enemy more persistent than any destruction. This spectrum nurtured by the possibilities, emboldened by the force of new to convince you that your grandest whispering, you are not enough. You're not worthy. It cannot be done. Who are you to even try? And how tragically many, succumb to this venomous lullaby, living lives far beneath the glorious inheritance that is rightfully theirs. They walk through their days as prisoners of their own minds, their dreams slowly suffocating in the dungeons of self-imposed restriction. The world sees their outer shell, but within, a silent surrender has taken place. But you are listening, and in that simple act, a rebellion has begun. A spark of defiance flickers against the encroaching darkness. You sense, perhaps viscerally, that there is more to your existence than this quiet servitude to an invisible master. You feel the stirring of a giant within, a power that yearns to break free, to shatter the chains of self-doubt and claim the sovereignty of your own being. This is not a call to arms against an external world, but a summons to an internal revolution. For the truth, the profound and liberating truth, is this: your outer world, your circumstances, your achievements, are but a reflection, a direct consequence of the state of your inner world. Master the terrain within, and the world without will inevitably bend to your will. Fail to conquer this inner realm, and you will forever be a puppet, your strings pulled by the unseen hand of your own unexamined fears and limiting beliefs. The path to commanding your destiny, to truly living a life of significance and fulfillment, begins and ends with the mastery of your inner world. It begins with the deliberate, courageous, and unwavering decision to conquer doubt. This conquest is not a single, heroic act, but a sustained campaign, a daily discipline of the mind. It demands that you become an active, vigilant guardian of your thoughts, for your thoughts are the seeds from which your reality blossoms. Most allow their minds to be untended gardens, overrun with the weeds of negativity, fear, and self-criticism, passively absorbing the toxic runoff from a world saturated with cynicism and limitation. They are unconscious architects of their own misery, their thoughts drifting like rudderless ships into harbors of despair. But the master of the inner world understands that thoughts are not immutable facts. They are tools. They can be chosen. They can be directed. They can be cultivated to serve your highest aspirations. Imagine your mind as a forge. Will you allow it to cool, to rust, to produce only brittle, misshapen creations? Or will you stoke its fires with passion, with belief, with a vision so compelling that it melts away all resistance, all doubt, and allows you to hammer out a destiny worthy of your inherent greatness? This is the first understanding. You're not your thoughts, but the thinker of your thoughts. And as the thinker, you possess the power to choose the thoughts that will build your empire or the thoughts that will lead to its ruin. 669 words. The cornerstone of this inner empire, the very foundation upon which all enduring achievement is built, is belief. Not a fleeting wish, not a passive hope, but an unshakable, deeply ingrained conviction in your own power, in the inevitability of your success, in the attainability of your most audacious dreams. Doubt is the acid that corrodes this foundation, eating away at your resolve, paralyzing your initiative, whispering that your efforts are futile. It magnifies obstacles, minimizes your strengths, and paints a future fraught with failure. To conquer doubt, You must construct an edifice of belief so formidable, so impervious, that doubt's insidious whispers can find no purchase. This belief is not something you are born with. It is something you build, brick by painstaking brick. It is forged in the fires of deliberate mental discipline. Consider the Wright brothers, two bicycle mechanics from Ohio, who dared to believe in the impossible dream of human flight. The world scoffed. Learned scientists proved it couldn't be done. Doubt, like a thick fog, enveloped the very notion. Yet, Orville and Wilbur held fast to an unwavering belief, a burning conviction that they could conquer the skies. They faced ridicule, countless setbacks, and mechanical failures that would have crushed lesser spirits. But their belief was their compass, their shield against the onslaught of negativity. And on a cold December day in Kitty Hawk, that belief took wing, shattering the shackles of skepticism and forever changing the course of human history. They didn't just invent an airplane. They demonstrated the raw, world-altering power of a belief held with absolute tenacity against a chorus of doubt. How, then, do you cultivate such indomitable belief? You begin by consciously choosing your mental diet. You starve doubt by refusing to entertain its narratives. You feed belief by immersing yourself in affirmations of your own capability, by visualizing your desired outcomes with such vividness and emotion that your subconscious mind accepts them as already accomplished realities. You seek out evidence, past successes, however small, the triumphs of others who overcame similar odds, that reinforces the possibility of your own victory. You understand, as Napoleon Hill so profoundly taught, that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. This is not a catchy slogan. It is a psycho-spiritual law. Your belief system acts as a filter, determining what you perceive as possible, what opportunities you recognize, what actions you deem worthwhile. A mind saturated with doubt will see only limitations, closed doors, and reasons to retreat. A mind fortified by belief will see pathways, open windows, and invitations to advance, even in the face of apparent adversity. This belief must extend not only to your ultimate aim, but also to your inherent worthiness to achieve it. Doubt often whispers that you are not deserving, that success is for others, for those more talented, more fortunate, more connected. This is a lie. This is not an illusion. Your capacity is the very evidence of capacity. The universe does not have aspirations. The very existence of desire is it's hard to believe as human beings professionals. Nurturing it, defended fiercely against the incursions of both internal and silent shapes your destiny from the unseen realm of thought into the tangible world of experience. It is the unwavering voice that, in the face of doubts, loudest roar, calmly and confidently declares, "It will be done, and I am the one to do it." 687 words. With belief as your bedrock, the next essential step in mastering your inner world and conquering doubt is to achieve absolute clarity, a crystal clear, sharply defined vision of precisely what you intend to achieve. Doubt thrives in the shadows of ambiguity, in the fog of ill-defined desires. When your goals are vague, your direction uncertain, doubt finds fertile ground to sow seeds of confusion, indecision, and ultimately, inaction. It whispers, "You don't even know what you truly want, so how can you possibly get it?" A nebulous wish for success or happiness is a target too broad, too indistinct to inspire the focused, relentless effort required to overcome significant obstacles. It's like trying to navigate a vast ocean without a compass or a map, hoping to stumble upon a hidden island. The chances of arrival are slim. The likelihood of being lost at sea, immense. The masters of destiny, those who have bent the arc of history or built empires from scratch, have always operated with a piercing clarity of purpose, what Napoleon Hill termed a definite chief aim. This is not a mere preference. It is an obsession, a burning, all-consuming desire for a specific, measurable, and vividly imagined outcome. Andrew Carnegie, the steel magnate, didn't just vaguely wish to be wealthy. He had a definite aim: to organize and dominate the steel industry. This singular, unwavering focus acted like a powerful magnet, drawing to him the resources, the talent, and the opportunities necessary for its realization. He knew exactly what he wanted, and this clarity became a powerful repellent to the doubts that would have crippled a less focused mind. When you know your destination with absolute certainty, the detours and challenges along the way become mere navigational adjustments, not reasons to abandon the journey. How do you forge this clarity from the often chaotic landscape of your desires? You must retreat into the silent sanctuary of your own mind, away from the noise and distractions of the world, and engage in a profound introspection. Ask yourself, what is it that I truly want to achieve, to create, to become? Be specific. If it's wealth, how much, by when, and through what means? If it's impact, what kind of impact, on whom, and in what way? Write it down. The act of translating your vision into written words gives it form, substance, and a power it did not possess as a mere fleeting thought. Read this written statement of your definite chief aim daily, upon waking and before sleeping. Visualize its attainment with such intensity that you can feel the emotions of its accomplishment. See it, touch it, taste in your minds until it becomes more real to you than your present circumstances. This is not idle daydreaming. It is the active programming of your subconscious mind, aligning its vast, unseen powers with your conscious intent. This clarity of vision acts as a powerful antidote to doubt because it provides a clear standard against which all decisions and actions can be measured. When faced with a choice, you simply ask, does this move me closer to my definite chief aim or further away? This simplifies decision-making, eliminates procrastination born of uncertainty, and focuses your energy like a laser beam. Doubt cannot easily take root in a mind that is resolutely fixed upon a clear and compelling objective. The path may not always be easy, but it will always be clear. You will know which opportunities to seize and which distractions to ignore. This unwavering focus, born of a crystal-clear vision, is a hallmark of those who command their destiny. They are not tossed about by the winds of circumstance. They set their sails purposefully towards a predetermined port. So, dedicate yourself to achieving this pristine clarity. Define your mountain. Know its name, its height, its contours, and then let every fiber of your being align with the ascent. For in the light of a definite vision, the shadows of doubt begin to recede. 705 words. This crystal-clear vision, your definite chief aim, is the blueprint of your destiny. But a blueprint alone, however precise, cannot raise a skyscraper. It requires an animating force, an unquenchable fire that fuels the arduous process of construction. This fire is purpose, a purpose so profound, so deeply resonant with the core of your being, that it transforms your ambition from a mere desire into an indomitable crusade. Without a compelling why, your what and how will inevitably falter when doubt unleashes its fiercest assaults, when the inevitable storms of adversity gather. Doubt whispers, is it really worth all this struggle? Why bother? A shallow purpose offers no compelling answer. But a purpose that transcends your own personal gain, a purpose that seeks to serve, to create, to contribute something of value to the world, becomes an unyielding shield against such insidious questions. Think of Abraham Lincoln, shouldering the immense burden of a nation tearing itself apart. His purpose was not mere political ambition. It was the preservation of a union, the emancipation of a people, the very soul of a nation. This colossal purpose imbued him with a strength that withstood relentless criticism, devastating military setbacks, and profound personal grief. When doubt surely whispered its venom in his darkest hours, it was the magnitude of his purpose that silenced it, that compelled him to press on, to endure, to ultimately prevail. Your purpose is the emotional engine that will drive you through the valleys of despair, that will lift you over the mountains of obstacles. It is the answer to the question, for what cause am I willing to strive, to sacrifice, to persevere, discovering your purpose is not always simple. It often requires the exploration of your most fervent passions, your most profound what problem are you uniquely related and passionate about? What legacy when your personal ambitions are you are no longer striving solely for your own benefit, but as an instrument of a greater design. This connection infuses your efforts with a sense of meaning, a sacredness, that makes ordinary tasks extraordinary and overwhelming challenges manageable. People are drawn to those who are animated by a powerful purpose. Resources flow, opportunities manifest, and synchronicities abound, not by magic, but because a person on a mission, driven by a noble why, radiates an energy that attracts and inspires. Let your purpose be your North Star, not just guiding your actions, but illuminating your path when doubt casts long, menacing shadows. When fatigue sets in, when progress seems agonizingly slow, when the voices of naysayers grow loud, reconnect with your why. Remind yourself of the impact you seek to make, the lives you aim to touch, the change you are committed to creating. This reconnection will refuel your spirit, reignite your resolve, and provide the unwavering conviction needed to push through the resistance. Doubt cannot long withstand the onslaught of a soul on fire with purpose. It may nip at your heels, it may whisper temptations of ease and comfort, but it cannot extinguish the inferno of a deeply held, passionately pursued why. Your purpose is your armor against the arrows of despair, your inexhaustible wellspring of motivation. Find it, nurture it, let it consume you, and watch as it transforms you into an unstoppable force, capable of achieving things that once seemed far beyond your reach, capable of silencing doubt not by arguing with it, but by rendering it utterly irrelevant in the face of your magnificent obsession. 695 words. With your mind fortified by unwavering belief, your path illuminated by the clarity of a definite chief aim, and your spirit ablaze with a burning purpose, you stand prepared to wield the most potent weapon against doubt, decisive, disciplined, and persistent action. For all the internal alignment, all the mental preparation, remains but a beautiful theory until it is translated into tangible effort in the physical world. Doubt revels in inertia. It whispers, wait for the perfect moment, gather more information, you're not quite ready yet. These are the siren songs of procrastination, luring you onto the rocks of inaction where dreams go to die. The antidote is immediate, imperfect, and courageous action. You do not conquer fear and doubt by thinking about them. You conquer them by acting in spite of them. Discipline is the master key that unlocks the door to consistent action. It is not a punishment, as many mistakenly believe, but the highest form of self-love, the commitment to do what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, regardless of your fluctuating moods or fleeting desires. It is the bridge between your vision and its realization. The undisciplined mind is a slave to impulse, easily distracted, its efforts scattered and ineffective. The disciplined mind is a focused powerhouse, capable of sustained, concentrated effort that grinds down mountains of resistance. Thomas Edison, in his relentless pursuit of the electric light, didn't rely on sporadic bursts of inspiration. He embodied discipline, conducting thousands of experiments, each one a deliberate step forward, even those deemed failures. His laboratory was a temple of disciplined action, a testament to the power of unwavering commitment to a process. This discipline is not about brute willpower alone. is an extension of your purpose. When your why is strong enough, the discipline to execute the how naturally follows. This disciplined action must then be imbued with relentless persistence. The journey to any worthwhile achievement is rarely a smooth, uninterrupted ascent. There will be setbacks. There will be plateaus. There will be moments when the temptation to abandon your quest feels overwhelming. Doubt will seize upon these moments, screaming, "See, I told you it was impossible. Give up now and spare yourself further pain." It is here that persistence separates the victors from the vanquished. Persistence is the stubborn refusal to be defeated. It is getting up one more time than you are knocked down. It is the quiet, unglamorous, day-in, day-out grind that accumulates into monumental achievement. As Calvin Coolidge so aptly stated, nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Genius will not. Education will not. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. When you persist in the face of adversity, you send an unequivocal message to your subconscious mind, and indeed to the universe itself, that you are unshakable in your resolve, that you will not be denied. Furthermore, your action must be intelligent and adaptable. It is not enough to simply be busy. You must be engaged in activities that are strategically aligned with your definite chief aim. This requires ongoing learning, a willingness to analyze your results, and the courage to adjust your course when necessary. Seek out specialized knowledge. Form a mastermind alliance, as Hill advocated, surrounding yourself with individuals who can offer diverse perspectives and support your growth. Learn from your mistakes, for mistakes are not failures, but invaluable feedback, lessons cloaked in temporary defeat. Doubt often tries to convince you that a mistake is a definitive judgment on your capabilities. The wise individual, the master of their inner world, sees a mistake as an opportunity to refine their approach, to become smarter, more effective. Be like the river, which, when encountering an obstacle, does not stop, but finds a new path around, over, or through it, always moving towards the sea. This fusion of disciplined, persistent, and adaptable action becomes an unstoppable force, eroding the foundations of doubt, building momentum, and carving your vision into the stone of reality. Act now. Act boldly. Act consistently. And watch as the mountains of doubt crumble before the relentless march of your purposeful efforts. 704 words. As you engage in the path to mastery of the inner world and commanding is not a transition or summit. It is set up for rubber ground, probably challenging competition. Setback, it is in these cases this way struggle This is where the alchemy of resilience becomes your most vital ally. Resilience is not the absence of fear or pain. It is the capacity to confront these formidable foes, to endure their blows, and to rise again, stronger, wiser, and more determined than before. Napoleon Hill's timeless insight. Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit, is the mantra of the resilient soul. Most people, when faced with significant failure, see only the loss, the pain, the confirmation of their deepest fears. They allow temporary defeat to solidify into permanent surrender. But the individual committed to mastering their inner world understands that within every setback lies a hidden opportunity, an opportunity to learn, to grow, to refine their character, to develop new strengths. Think of Henry Ford, whose early ventures in automobile manufacturing were plagued by failures and bankruptcies. Lesser men would have been crushed, their dreams extinguished. But Ford possessed an unyielding resilience. He didn't see failures. He saw expensive lessons in what not to do. Each collapse became a stepping stone, refining his vision, hardening his resolve, until he finally revolutionized not just transportation, but the very fabric of modern industry. He transmuted adversity into advantage. This resilience is cultivated through a conscious shift in perspective. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" the resilient mind asks, "What can I learn from this? How can this challenge make me better?" It embraces the struggle not as a punishment, but as a forging process. Just as steel is tempered in fire to achieve its strength and flexibility, so too is human character forged in the crucible of adversity. Each challenge overcome builds your capacity to handle greater challenges. Each doubt conquered strengthens your belief in your own indomitable spirit. This requires a commitment to continuous learning and adaptability. The landscape of life and of any significant endeavor is constantly shifting. Strategies that were effective yesterday may be obsolete today. The ability to learn from your experiences, to seek new knowledge, and to adapt your approach without losing sight of your core vision is crucial. Doubt often whispers that change is threatening, that the unknown is to be feared. The resilient, adaptable mind sees change as an opportunity for innovation, for growth, for discovering new pathways to success. Embrace the role of the lifelong student. Be curious. Question your assumptions. Seek feedback, even when it's uncomfortable. The moment you believe you know everything is the moment you begin to stagnate, and stagnation is the fertile ground where doubt flourishes anew. Be willing to pivot, to adjust your sails when the winds change, always keeping your eyes fixed on your North Star, your definite chief aim. This combination of resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks, and adaptability, the capacity to navigate change effectively, creates an inner fortitude that is virtually unshakable. You become less a victim of circumstance and more a master of response. You learn to dance with uncertainty, to find strength in vulnerability, and to see every obstacle not as a barricade, but as a hurdle to be gracefully cleared. This is how you build an inner citadel so strong that the arrows of doubt, however sharply they fly, cannot penetrate its walls. You learn not just to endure the storms, but to harness their energy to propel you forward. 699 words. Total word count so far, 4,160 words. The script has reached the minimum word count. I will now write the climactic conclusion, ensuring it wraps up all the themes and empowers the viewer. This journey of mastering your inner world, of conquering doubt and commanding your destiny, culminates not in a final, static victory, but in a dynamic, ever-evolving state of empowered being. It is the realization that the power to shape your reality, to manifest your deepest aspirations, has always resided within you, waiting only for your conscious recognition and deliberate cultivation. You have learned that belief is not a passive wish, but an active force, that clarity of vision cuts through the fog of uncertainty, that purpose is the unquenchable fuel for your endeavors, that disciplined, persistent action is the chisel that sculpts your dreams into existence, and that resilience, combined with a commitment to learning and adaptability, transforms every obstacle into a stepping stone. Now, as you stand at the threshold of this profound understanding, you must also embrace the quiet power of gratitude. Doubt often thrives in an atmosphere of perceived lack, focusing on what is missing, on what has gone wrong. Gratitude is the luminous antidote. It shifts your entire energetic frequency, compelling you to acknowledge the abundance already present in your life. The lessons learned, the strengths discovered, the support received, the very breath that sustains you. Even in the midst of struggle, especially then, anchoring yourself in gratitude opens channels for more good to flow your way. It is not a denial of challenges, but a recognition of the blessings interwoven within them. A grateful heart is a magnet for miracles, a fertile ground where belief flourishes and doubt withers. Couple this with self-compassion. The voice of doubt is often an echo of your own harsh inner critic. Learn to speak to yourself with the same kindness, understanding, and encouragement you would offer a dear friend facing similar trials. Forgive yourself for past missteps, for they were but lessons on your path to mastery. The war against doubt is not won with a single decisive battle, but through a lifetime of conscious choices, a daily reaffirmation of your commitment to your own evolution. There will be moments when old patterns resurface, when the whispers of inadequacy attempt to reclaim their lost territory. Do not be discouraged. This is part of the process. Bring your focus back. Remember the not a new path, they understood how to build. You are the sovereign. The actions you take are the decrees that shape your realm. Will you allow doubt to be the power behind the throne, dictating a reign of fear and limitation? Or will you seize your rightful scepter and with courage, conviction, and unwavering resolve, command a destiny of your own choosing? The choice, as it has always been, is yours. Go forth, then, not as a pawn of fate, but as a conscious creator, an architect of a life rich with meaning, achievement, and profound fulfillment. Let the mastery of your inner world be your greatest art, your most enduring legacy. Conquer doubt, not by fighting its shadows, but by illuminating your mind with the brilliant light of your own limitless potential. Command your destiny, not through force, but through the aligned power of your thoughts, your beliefs, your purpose, and your actions. The world awaits the unique gift that only you can offer. Step into your greatness. The time is now. Your inner world is your dominion. Rule it wisely, rule it well, and watch as the universe itself conspires to bring your grandest visions to life. Your destiny is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of choice. Choose to win.